Today's video is on pretrial custody, or as the homicide detective David Sweet says, it's a jail for the innocent. And that's quite simply what it is. Very few people understand that you are guilty until proven innocent in Canada.
Nah, you're full of it. I learned in school in grade 9 that people are innocent until proven guilty.
No, you're just simply put in jail until you're proven innocent. That is actually how it works in Canada. So this is called pretrial custody. Very few people know anything about this or that it even exists. Now, the way that people think the justice system works is you commit a crime, the police kick down your door, they arrest you, you have a trial, and then you're found innocent or guilty. If you're found innocent, you get to go, and if you're found guilty, then you get to go to jail, right? Wrong. That is not how the process works. So what happens is, if you're suspected of committing a crime, and it's a serious crime, like let's say a drug offense, because that's a very serious crime, then you're going to get put in pre-trial custody, which is a prison. And not only is it a prison, but it's actually a really bad prison. I had a friend who spent 5 years in pre-trial custody. Now what happens is you're going to stay in pre-trial custody until the date of your trial, which could be a very long time. In my friend's case, it was 5 years. Now, more recently, I think the Supreme Court passed a law that the maximum amount of time you can spend in pretrial custody is 2 years. So that's better. And when you hear what happens in court, pretrial custody doesn't sound so bad, because let's say you're convicted of murder and you're sentenced to 20 years in prison. Well, if you spent 2 years in pretrial custody, they subtract that. So that seems fair, right? But what happens if you're innocent? What happens if you're accused of a crime and you spend, let's say, 2 years in pretrial custody, and then they were found innocent in court after your trial? Then what happens? How does the government refund 2 years of your life? It's very simple. They do nothing. You can theoretically sue the government, but you're not necessarily going to win. You might end up spending thousands and thousands of dollars on lawyers, and the government has basically an unlimited budget from tax money, so they can hire the best lawyers ever possible, and you're probably not going to win. In my friend's case, he spent 5 years in prison, and he went to a lawyer and talked about suing the government, and they advised him not to. They said, you're most likely going to lose, and you're just going to waste even more money and be in even more debt. I don't know if you've ever actually tried suing someone, but suing someone is not easy. It's an incredibly expensive and time-consuming process. So that sounds like an atrocious injustice. I thought the whole system was innocent until proven guilty. You can't throw somebody in jail unless they're guilty, right? That's not true. You certainly can throw innocent people in jail, and innocent people are thrown in jail all the time. And people who are even found innocent in a court of law are thrown in jail. This just goes to show you how disgusting and deplorable democratic justice is. Death to democracy. And I'm going to make a second video on this, which is going to be more accurate. I think I have the fundamentals right. I've talked to a homicide detective about this. So I'm going to get some more information on this, because I know it's a little bit more complicated. For example, when you're in pretrial custody, I think you can buy your way out of prison. I think there's a way to pay like $30,000 or something and be released from prison. There's, if you're rich, you don't have to go to jail. I'm pretty sure they have a system set up so that if you're rich, you can buy your way out of prison, which is not a good thing. That's even more unjust, right? That's even more deplorable. So please help share this information as much as you can. Very few people know about this.